again one church. So we find ourselves in what is often called Holy Week, the week Palm Sunday through to Easter Sunday. Easter is fast approaching, and that means that this will be the last of our series of looking at the sayings of Jesus on the cross. So we read in Luke 23 verse 46 these words of Jesus. Then Jesus called out in a loud voice, "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." The verse goes on to say, then Jesus breathed his last breath. The final of the final sayings, a saying as many of the others, full of intimacy, full of sacrifice, full of trust, and full of surrender. It's worth noting that these words would have been very familiar to Jesus. They're part of Psalm 31 and actually were often used in a daily evening prayer by Jews of the time. He knew he was completing his earthly mission. He knew that as Messiah he needed to come, and he knew that his work on earth was almost done. He also knew this was a message of hope. I think it also tells us though that Jesus knew death was not the end. He knew he was committing that eternal part of himself to be back with God. No longer was he saying, "Why have you forsaken me?" Now he knew he could trust God, he could surrender God, and he could give his spirit to him. Now we look at this verse with the benefit of hindsight, knowing what is yet to come, knowing about Easter Sunday, knowing about Ascension, knowing about the coming of the Holy Spirit. Those listening didn't. Now my granddaughter Lily was determined that she needed to share with you the end of the story as part of these short thoughts. She wanted to record to make sure we all knew that this wasn't the end. And so we're just going to listen to her very short thought now before coming back for me to conclude.
Already now, God? Jesus got died on the cross, and there was a big stone called the tomb, and Jesus went, and the angel said he's alive again, and he went up to heaven with the crowds. Amen.
Thank you, Lily, for reminding us that the cross wasn't the end. So I want to wish you all a happy Easter, but I also want to ask, could you say those words from Psalm 31, the words that Jesus said yourself each evening this week? Not that I'm expecting you to die, but rather that you're saying, Lord, the whole of my life now, my life in eternity, I surrender to you. I place my life in your hands. See you soon.